Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. Today we're going to optimize a few things in the base here. As you can see, I've been upgrading the belts from the iron train to red belts, or let's see, fast transport belts, since they're a bit quicker. And what we can see here is that these belts are not completely full, and I think part of the reason is that we may have, well, we'll see how it is when all these inserters are running, but this might be a good time to upgrade these inserters to stack inserters. They'll get the ore out a little bit more quickly, and hopefully it will give us better compression on the belts. All right, so I'm going to upgrade all of these. And the next thing that I want to do is fix my train situation. Someone actually mentioned in the comments that this is fixable as it is. And the key here is to change some of our signals. Okay, so now this train is stopped because it is blocked up here. This one is stopped because it's trying to get to iron load 2. And this is the copper train, which is trying to come down. So they're all blocking one another, and I'm going to attempt to fix this with signals. So actually, I'm just going to leave everything the way that it is right now. Okay, so first let's look at the exits for these stations. Now, the copper only has one train going into it. So let's start with iron, because this is the more complicated situation. So I don't want an iron train to leave the station unless this entire block is clear. Okay, so one thing I can do is I can remove these signals. That way this junction is part of the same block. And then I'm going to send this here. I want to get this out of the way. So let's just change this to manual, and I'll bring this one back into the station. Okay, and I'll remove these signals as well. And let's remove these signals. Okay, so now this entire section, including this junction, is all part of the same block. Okay, so what this will achieve is that if there's any train anywhere between here and up here, then these trains will not be able to leave the station. And I think that that's all that I need to do down here. Okay, so let's go up north. And let's see what we need to fix up here. Okay. All right, so this is an iron train that actually I had initially sent back. This one needs to go to iron 2. All right, so let me back up this copper train so that this one can get out of the way. All right, and then I'm just going to cut the track so that these trains can't come back until I'm ready for them. Okay. So now iron 1 should be clear. Let's put this back in automatic mode. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to make sure that the train from iron 1, I don't mind if it comes up here, but I don't want it to go anywhere if there is a train already in the station. So I'm going to remove that signal. And that way, if a train is in the iron load station, this signal will be red, and it will, well, actually it's going to turn blue, but it's not going to let this train out. Okay, so let's test this. All right, I'm going to put copper in manual mode. Oh, okay. Actually, it doesn't matter because my track is clipped. Oops. There we go. All right, so let's tell... Okay, now it's saying iron load 2 doesn't have a path. But that's not quite true, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. If I remove that signal, I need to remove this one too. Okay, on a two-way track, you can't have a signal only on one side. Okay, here it comes. Okay, now this one's saying no path just because I cut the rail, but that's fine. Okay, so this one comes down. Now this signal is red. And once this train pulls into the station, this signal should turn blue. Okay. Now what blue means is that there are some paths that are blocked and there are some paths that are not blocked. The reason it's blue is because the path to the copper station is clear. But I don't care about that. It's not going to go to the copper station. Okay, so if I unlock this now, the train should then wait right here until this train is gone. Okay, so this should prevent these two iron trains from interfering with one another. Okay, let's wait and see what happens once the train passes. Okay, and now it's clear. Okay, and I'll want to do the same up here. Actually, I already have the same thing here, but what I have to do now is I have to remove those two signals. And I have to remove, let's remove those two signals. And let's remove these two signals. Okay, so now this entire vertical section of rail is all a single block, and it should only allow one train into it at a time. Okay, my copper train is still in manual mode, I believe. Let's drive over there so we get there a little more quickly. And let's check the signals there. Okay, yeah, this has a red signal coming out, which is fine because there's a train there. But what I would like to do is I'd like to allow that train to at least make some forward progress. So I think what I'll do is I'll just mimic this same signal setup. In fact, I'll just copy that. And I'll put that over here. Okay, so that way there we go. That way the copper train will at least be able to come over here and make a little bit of forward progress while it's waiting. Okay, so let's put this back in automatic. Okay, and now it's going to wait here until this track is clear. All right, so once this train pulls into the iron station, then this train should be allowed to proceed. Okay, now that's in the station. Now this one is able to go. Okay, so that hopefully now will clear up the train issues that we've been having with traffic. It's still not super efficient. Later on, I'll probably do like a standalone video where I show how we can improve our train network, you know, with a two-directional system and so forth. But for now, this is doing the job that we needed to do. Okay, and we shouldn't have any more traffic jams. Okay, Yeah, so this one now is going, even though the copper station is full, the iron is open. So this one will proceed there. So we should be in good shape. Okay, and I'm going to hitch a ride on this train back to the base. I won't wait for it to fill up. We'll just tell it to go to unload. Let's see how we're doing here. Right, so the biter attacks are starting to get a little more aggressive. We're getting attacks more and more frequently. So what I'd like to do now is to start to build our defensive perimeter wall. And we're going to use bots to do much of the work. So what we'll work on first is on the design. We've got access to produce a portable fusion reactor now, which I would like to do ASAP. So we'll start to beef up our personal roboports. Those will come in very handy as we're building the wall. Okay, great. So actually, let's upgrade our personal equipment first. And I need to finish upgrading these lines as well. I upgraded all the copper output lines to fast belts, but the input lines are still the regular transport belts. So let's get out our upgrade planner and let's start upgrading all of these input belts so that we can get full throughput on these copper lines. I had a... there's our alert. Coal is running low. Okay, you may remember we set up a coal alert when this patch gets below 100,000. Well, now it's below 100,000. Okay, so we are going to need to make a coal train fairly soon. Let's make ourselves a little to-do list. And it's easy to do on the map. So let's say we need to make a coal outpost. We need to build our perimeter wall. Whoops. Oh, okay. I made that too close. Okay, I'm not going to have enough room here for the to-do list. All right, let's make the to-do list over here. So, perimeter wall. We need a coal train. We need upgrade personal robot equipment. And we need to do science packs, right? We still need to finish the production science pack. Right, so that's kind of an easy way that you can make yourself a to-do list. Okay, so let's get this upgrade planner set up. So I'm going to upgrade all of these belts. I'm just being careful not to select the belts that I don't want upgraded, just to conserve materials. But all that needs to be upgraded. And then we also need to upgrade the output belts of the iron, since those are still at the regular speed. Okay, so let's do that as well. Actually, I should be able to just blanket select like that. I don't need to upgrade the steel line, so I'm going to be careful not to select that, but everything along here. Actually, we can do this from the map. Let's see if I shift select it. Yeah, okay. So you can shift select to undo your selections if you need to. All right, so all that needs to go to red belts. Great. Okay. Now that we've gotten that logistics research done, we can start to fix that situation that I showed you before in the mall where the yellow belts were not getting used. So let's go ahead and do that. Now to do that, we're going to need to make some buffer chests. And I think I'm short on steel. Yeah, my steel output is really pathetic. Why is that? Okay, it's because I have very little ore going up there. And I can see here this priority splitter is not working properly. Why is that? All this ore should be going up here until this belt is full. And I can't understand why that's not happening. All right, I might have to just take that apart and rebuild it or something. All right, so in the meantime, all right, so I'm going to change these. I'm going to change this chest because this is stopped again because I have 1.2K transport belts, normal yellow belts in storage. So this is not producing anymore, and therefore I'm starving this of those belts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a buffer chest here. Now, a buffer chest is a lot like a passive provider chest, but you can also request items to go into it. Okay. Now, this is set to only be enabled when there's less than 400 in this chest. So I'm going to tell this chest to request 400. Okay. So this will tell the logistics bots to store at least 400 belts here from storage. Okay, and we can see the bots slowly bringing those over. So if there are any chests in storage, they will be stored here first, and they will show up in the network. So that way the red belts can continue to produce using whatever regular belts we have in the system. All right, so the bots will continue to bring those belts over to this chest as long as there are fewer than 400 in the buffer chest. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing with these. And I set this to the same number that's in the limit. Okay, so I'll set this to 100. And I'll set this to 100. Okay, and that way as we upgrade from transport belts to fast transport belts, from yellow to red, we'll recycle those components to be turned into the upgraded ones. Okay, so that's the main use that I have for buffer chests. And you can also do that with inserters and anything else that you want to reuse for upgrades. Okay, somebody was nice enough to point out that I was missing some power down here. Also, I got a good comment on one of the videos from somebody who is colorblind. And he said that when you say yellow belts and red belts, or yellow inserters and blue inserters, I don't know what you're talking about. It's kind of confusing and frustrating because I can't see the difference in those colors. And that was good to hear. That's not something that I had considered. So so going forward, I'm going to try to use the proper names for these items in addition to the colors. I'm very used to calling them out by color, so I may forget from time to time, but I will try to be more sensitive to that and use the proper names. So bear with me if I stumble over some words from time to time. Okay, well, let's start building our wall. The first thing I want to do is kind of plan it out. So what I'm thinking is I don't expect to expand much more to the south. So I'm thinking I'll build a wall from this lake across to this lake. This kind of looks like Mexico, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'll build like from here all the way over to there. And I'm going to link that up with the robot network in the base, and we'll let our construction bots take care of that job. All right, so all I need to do is figure out what my southern extent is going to be, and we'll need to place some roboports. And we'll have roboports all along the wall. Okay. All right, so let's do that. We'll need to power these up, of course. So let's get those powered up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to design, you know, like a basic wall section. And then we'll blueprint it, and then we'll just copy that all over the rest of the base. I think. Oh, okay. I thought I had 2 poles there for some reason. There. Let's check on our power. Oof. Yeah, we are nearing our power limit. Okay. So before we start building that wall, let's start stockpiling some solar panels and batteries. Accumulators, sorry. So that we can start adding some solar power. Okay. So solar panels need copper, steel, and circuits, and accumulators need iron and batteries. Fortunately, we have all those items here. So we can put our solar panels... no, actually, let's do them over here. Since I have steel over there. Okay. So we need accumulators and we need solar. Let's put a couple chests. All right, so batteries and iron. We can do like that. Okay, and I'll limit my buffer to, let's say, 100. We're going to be using a lot of these. I think 100 is a good starting point. And then the solar panels take steel, circuits, and copper. Okay, so steel and copper is easy enough. And then we also need green circuits. Okay, and we'll set this to, let's say 150. Okay. And I'm just going to let this, start to build, and we'll get into the solar power design and everything a little bit later on. But for now, I'll just say that we need the accumulators. The accumulators store electricity. because the solar panels only make power during the day, the way you want to set up solar power is to have enough panels that you can generate electricity to power your base during the day, as well as charge the batteries enough so that the accumulators have enough charge to keep everything running during the night when there are no solar panels. Okay, so solar power almost always consists of panels as well as accumulators. Now, you could start using solar power with only the panels, and that would not help you at night, but during the day, you would use less fuel in your boilers because you'll be providing part of your power needs with the panels, right? So there is value in using the panels only, but for a self-sustaining system, you need the accumulators as well. Okay. All right, so let's start designing a wall. And I don't have any wall sections. So let's, I'll just grab some stone brick and then I can handcraft the walls. Okay. So what I'd like to do is I would like to have a section of wall. We could even make it double thick. Do I want to make it double thick? Yeah, I think we probably should make it twice as thick. All right, and along this wall we are going to place laser turrets. Those are going to need to be powered. Okay, we can place a light. And what we can do is we can just place the turrets like this. Right, so one next to each pole. All right. Actually, let me, I want to give myself a little more room. So I'm just gonna pick it up with Control X. Oh, crud. The other bots are coming to get it. I don't want that to happen. I want to keep this material with me. Okay. I just want to build it where I have a little more room. Okay. So we'll have a double section of wall. We will have laser turrets. Like this. We'll have a light on each one. And then I would also like to have flame turrets. Well, let's see. I've got 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, so if I place those there, that would be nice. Okay. And then let's put pipe on either end because we're going to need to feed it with oil. And then I'm also going to need roboports. All right, so let's place a roboport there. Now, that's the maximum distance between roboports. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control C and I'm going to use Shift. And I'm going to copy this. Oops. All right, I'm going to copy that, but I'm going to remove the flame turret because I don't want the flame turrets to repeat quite as often as the lasers. All right, so let's just do this. Okay, and I'm thinking maybe the flame turrets maybe I'll place in every other one. Right, like that. Okay, those pipes are too long, so I'll need to place, whoops, I'll need to place pipe sections in between. Okay, and then if I do that, this is a little too far, so I want a repeatable pattern here. So what I'll do is I'll place the other RoboPort right there. Okay, that means we're going to be using more RoboPorts than we really need, but that's okay. All right, and then I'll pick all this up. Okay, so now I've got a repeating pattern that I can use to start pasting this down with the bots. Okay, so I'm going to copy. I'm going to hold down Shift, and we'll call this straight wall. Okay, and I'm going to place that in my blueprint book. I think I need to put more blueprints in there. I didn't put in blue science or anything else yet. Okay, so now we can pick this up and wait for my bots to do that. We can help them, I suppose. Okay, and if some of the in-house bots do it too, that's fine. Getting some attacks up here. All right, we're doing fine. I might be running low on construction packs. Oh, and actually there's a belt that got destroyed, so yeah. So we're doing this at a good time. Let me help the bots with the cleanup here. Okay, great. So now let's select that blueprint that I just made. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the wall with that RoboPort there. And I'm going to paste it down. And then all I need to do is just line up those RoboPorts and start pasting it down. And then get myself on the correct side of the wall. Okay, and then I'm going to need one more power pole here to connect that to the main power. And then the bots in our base should start doing all the rest. Now this part I don't need, so I'm just going to shift. Well, no, actually I'm just going to deconstruct all this. And then shift, deconstruct. Okay. Because the biters won't be able to get past here, so I don't actually need a wall over here. I'll put some of my own power poles here to help things along a bit. Okay. And then we'll need to feed oil. So let's see, where can we bring oil down? All right, oil pipeline is there. Okay, so down there we can feed in the oil to the flame turrets. All right, those don't have power yet because of that. There we go. All right, and then as the bots put these RoboPorts down, that'll expand the range, and so they'll just gradually build this as they go along. All right. And we can do a lot of this from map view. Okay, we'll have to stop there because we're going to need radar coverage to get the rest of it. So I'll probably just stop right there and wait for that construction to complete. Let's get my personal bots back. Okay. Where am I going? Oh yeah, I need to get oil pumped down there. All right, so let's do that up here. So I could go from here, let's say. Okay, and I'm just going to use crude oil. Crude oil will do enough damage. And, you know, it's less expensive than light oil or heavy oil. Okay. I don't have to keep doing that all the way down here. All right, so let's... Okay. Okay. Oops. Let's avoid the path. Okay. And then I'll just put this right there. Okay. And that will very slowly start to fill up with oil. Now, part of the problem is that I don't really have any spare crude oil. All right, let's make a radar so we can get the rest of this wall built. It looks like it's mostly built already. Let's use the car. Drive through trees, I don't care. Okay. All right, so I'm going to place this radar. Actually, I should place it further down. I'll put it, I don't know, I'll put it right there. No, let's go further. Let's put it right there. Okay. And and then we'll be able to do the rest of this using the map view. Oh, almost the rest of it. Okay, let's get this radar moved over further. Need to go further to the left. Okay. All right, and then we'll just extend it all the way to the water. It won't build anything on the water, obviously, so it's okay if part of the blueprint goes over the water. Okay, and now we have a solid wall with all kinds of turrets and stuff that are going to protect us from anything coming from the south. That's step one. And then obviously we'll need more walls around the rest of the base. We could do a wall like from north to south right here. Maybe over here. I don't know. I'll figure out the rest of it as we go along. All right. Okay. Yeah, and then for now we just wait for the bots to finish building. So it's a nice, easy way to do it. All right, and then I'm still getting that no fuel signal on a lot of these turrets. Okay, so one thing that we could do is we could go up to our oil pipeline and I could disconnect the refinery momentarily and wait for all these pipes to get filled up. Really, I need more oil, so let's add that to our to-do list. Oil train. See, now these guys are getting ready to establish a base up there. All right, yeah, so we're going to need to build an oil train as well. I am building flame turrets, right? Oh, I think it's just because my steel is so low. Let's see if we can fix the way that ore is getting fed into my steel line, because for some reason those splitters are not working the way that they should be. Well, they should be now. Oh, but they're not. The belts aren't upgraded. Yeah, because they're outside of the Roboport network. Oh, yeah, remember all these chests? This is where active provider chests come in handy. Let me grab some steel so I can make a few of those. Now what active provider chests do is they will tell the bots to pick up whatever's in those chests and essentially just empty them out. So active providers are meant to be empty. Okay, so if you put in an active provider chest, then the bots will pick up whatever's in there. They will take them anywhere there's a demand, or if there's no demand, they will move it to storage chests. All right, let me make a few red belts so I can finish upgrading this section. Where are they? Oh, okay. My bots placed them down. All right, good. That should help. Now, this seems to be working now, but I don't know. So I'm going to pick all this up. And I'm going to place this down again. Okay, so I want output priority on the left. Now it's working. And I want those output priority on the left. Okay, so this will This will feed my steel line first, and then everything else will go to iron plates. Yeah, and this is really bad. Let's expand our RoboPort network. Let's get it over to cover this area. Okay. All right. So now the other type of chest are Requestor Chests. And I can use a Requestor Chest to request coal that is in the logistic network, right? And I can see that I have 199 pieces of coal, probably that have come out of my trash slots. And so I'll put a Requestor Chest here. That way the logistic bots will pick up any coal and bring it over here so that it can be used. Okay, and we can do, let's make another one. And this is also how you can use up the ores that get auto-trashed. Right, so all this iron ore that I have in my inventory from my trash slots, we can throw that on a belt. Okay, I'm losing bots and stuff. We're going to need to beef up these defenses. All right, so here we can request iron ore. So that iron ore will get recycled. And then I can do the same as well for the copper and the stone. So let's make 2 more of those. Okay, and I'll put the input priority up here. And that'll be copper ore. Okay, so that way it'll use the copper ore from the chest first. And I'm going to remove this priority because I'm starving my smelting lines. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. Oh, man. I really screwed the pooch there. Okay, let's do that. And now I've contaminated my fuel line with copper ore. So I'm going to need to clean all that up. Okay, doesn't look like any got down there. That's good. Okay, yeah, and we desperately need more coal, so I think the coal train is going to be the next thing on the list. Okay, so we'll set the input priority right there. And we'll have this request stone. Let's put that in my auto trash as well. And we need a RoboPort down here. Guess I'll just put it right there. Okay, so excess stone will go it'll go to stone bricks, which is fine because we need the stone bricks to build wall. Okay, so now we're recycling ores and things that we pick up. We really need more coal, so I think in the next episode we will set up another one of these train stations down here for coal. We've got a mine up here that we can tap into. All right, so as a matter of fact, I think I'll just do that offline, since you've seen me do that a few times already. And we're going to need, I think it'll be a good idea to build some wall up here. So maybe this wall, maybe I'll extend across here to this lake, cover that. Right, this is still missing some parts that I think we're fabricating. Just because of the shortage in steel, it's been kind of slow. Now what is this waiting for? Steel gears, pipes, engines. It's waiting for steel, but I thought I saw some steel go right past it. Oh, pipes. Okay, let me fix that. We can use a buffer chest there because I've got tons of pipes. All right. Okay, and this is set for 200, so let's buffer request pipes, 200. Yep. Okay, that should fix that. Okay. Well, that's going to do it. So I think for the between now and the next episode, I will put in a train for coal to bring coal from this patch up here. And then in the next episode, we can set up the train for oil. Oil's way up there. I think that's the closest one we've got, right? So, yeah, we'll get that set up. That'll feed our turrets, and then we should be good to continue with the rest of the science packs and the other stuff. But I think that oil train and coal train and the perimeter wall are the main priorities right now. So that's what we'll focus on first before we get to the additional research. I think the northern wall, I'll try to capture this uranium patch and this stone patch. We'll need uranium for nuclear power anyway. And we'll go from there. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.